Tag Heuer, they sometimes catch a little flack from us watch enthusiasts, us watch fans. Sometimes it's deserved, and sometimes, like in the case of this Heuer Heritage Autavia, I don't think it holds water. This is a very attractive, vintage-inspired automatic chronograph here. It does carry an in-house movement. If we turn the watch over and take a look at it, this is the caliber Heuer 02. Now, this is a true in-house movement, none of that silly Biaseco movement, call it our very own. This is one that they designed and executed, and it's really nice. It has all the little things that we love to see as watch fans. You know, this has an 80-hour power reserve, 28,800 beats per hour frequency, very pleasant finished work, a custom-shaped rotor, and of course a column wheel chronograph with a vertical clutch. So very nice to see. I think it's an attractive combination and it works well within this watch. You'll notice the branding there. You can see the Tag Heuer branding. That is the only place that you'll see the name Tag found on the watch or its box. Tag decided to take a little bit of humble pie and give us watch fans exactly what we want with going with a retro Heuer dominant logo. You'll see it here on the dial. You'll see it on the crown. You'll even see it here on the buckle. We have a custom Heuer vintage inspired buckle there. So very nice to see that. It's also nice to see this released under the Autavia line. This was Heuer's longest running line. It first debuted in the 1930s, a full 50 years before Tag acquired Heuer in 1985. So I like the fact that Tag is going with Heuer dominant with an Autavia line, and they reached out to us watch enthusiasts and they got our input for what design elements and features that we would like to see in their next release. That happened in 2016, a full year before this one was released. And when this burst onto the scene in 2017, it was met with a warm reception by us watch fans, by the same people that like to give Tag Heuer some flack from time to time. So again, I really like what I'm seeing here. This is a nice execution. There's some rich dial details. I love the reverse panda layout here and the concentric circle texturing found on those registers. Look at the applied markers. The dominant finish is a satin brushing that looks very sharp and carries an inner high polish facet, and on the outside edge near the indexing, you'll see the ivory tone Superluminova. Now I know some of you really dislike the old radium tone when it comes to a modern watch, but I think it works really well in this instance, especially when the watch is on as nice of leather strap as it is. That tone, that symmetry there, it brings a nice warm balance and inviting feel to the watch, and I think looks sharp. The only negative thing I can say about it is the quality and potency of the luminescence leaves a little something to be desired, as you guys can see from this lume shot. But not to worry, this is not a dive watch. This is a racing chronograph with a rotating 12-hour bezel. It rotates in two different directions. There's nice action and nice coin edging grip. The watch sits pleasantly on my 7.25-inch wrists. I like the size. It really reminds me of the Omega Speedmaster Professional. It's right around the same size at 42.5 millimeters in diameter and just about the same height. This one's a little bit taller, probably because of that automatic grinding rotor, but it comes in right around 15.5 millimeters. The case is entirely high polish, and I guess that would be one other negative or critique I would have, although that is subjective. It would be nice to see a little bit of brushing here and there on the case. I think it would strengthen the tie-in with those brushed applied markers on the dial and just offer a little bit of variation, but I'm not really complaining because the watch does carry a lot of pop with its all polished finish. Now let me give you guys a sample of the chronograph action. You can hear a very loud, snappy click as I engage the chronograph, and you'll see a nice smooth sweep of the seconds hand. You get a noticeable tick at every minute when it comes to the elapsed minute counter down there that's indexed to 30. And you'll notice the hour counter on the opposite side of the dial. That is a very gradual creep as the chronograph continues to keep time. So you can time something up to 12 hours should you have a mind to do that. Again, you can also do the same thing with your 12-hour bezel if you want to. It's a little less precise, but you could line that up with the with the hour hand and just kind of get a gauge of how many hours have elapsed. So let's stop the chronograph. Again, nice and loud, snappy and responsive, and reset. Very easy. So nice chronograph action, nice bezel action, and there's not a lot not to like here. Now, what would be any negative aspects to this watch? Well, I previously mentioned my personal preference for a little bit of brushing here, but when it comes to non-subjective elements, I think there really is only one, and that is the caliber Heuer 02 is a unidirectionally winding movement when it comes to the rotor. So very similar to the Valjoux 7750 from ETA. If you don't like feeling the spin of the rotor, because this watch, you know, you get your wrist in the right position, you really feel that rotor spinning inside the case. If you don't like that Valjoux 7750 wobble, I don't think you'll enjoy this one because it carries a very similar feel. But that aside, it's a very attractive watch. I like what TAG has done. I like the fact that they went Heuer dominant with the logo. It's part of the Autavia line. They reached out to us watch fans. It's got all the goodies of an in-house automatic column wheel chronograph, and overall is a very pleasant release. So it retails for about $5,300 on a leather strap. It also is available on a beads of rice style bracelet and sells for right around $3,000 on the secondary market. Which reminds me, the friend and viewer of the channel that sent this in for a presentation is making it available for purchase. So if anybody watching this video, if you like what you see, feel free to reach out. I'll put my email in the description. The watch is available for purchase, and it is going for right around the secondary market rate as of May 2019. So reach out if you're interested. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.